Hey there, Phoenix family. Welcome back to another episode of the Phoenix Fast Break podcast. We got quite a bit in store for you, coming off of a double header, and we've also got a game review against a team we've previously versed this season. As well as that, we're going to give you guys a halfway stat check for our Phoenix men's and women's. But apart from that, let's get into it.
So our first game was against Logan Thunder. It was a home game and it was first of the double header. The women's team lost 81-92, unfortunately. But they did bring it back in the last quarter, outscoring them 25-16.
Yeah, the Phoenix took a lot of three-pointers this game. Some of them went in, and you could see their confidence grow over the night. However, there weren't enough threes going in to get us the win. But yeah, a lot of shots taken on the Saturday night.
Also, just with threes, I feel like Phoenix's main run in the last quarter was that they limited Logan's ability to get inside the paint, which was where most of their scoring was coming from, and forced them to shoot threes, which helped us to kind of build back a bit of that difference.
Yeah, so Logan came into the round as one of the strongest teams, and they still sit near the top of the ladder, so they're going to be one of the teams to beat in the future. The Thunder, the reason they're at the top is because mainly of their defensive pressure from Leah Scott especially, and all their supporting cast, and that basically just limits the team they verse to the amount of scoring opportunities they're getting during the game. Because, obviously the Phoenix can shoot, but obviously teams want open layups rather than contested threes. And I think the Thunder do a great job of forcing the three ball, or letting the three ball go, and then contesting the inside.
I would also just say in that game, we felt a little bit rushed, and Logan are kind of really good at controlling their momentum and their pace, so we kind of fell into their rhythm a little bit, which meant we weren't able to consistently score or keep them from not consistently scoring.
Yeah. Looking at some of the players, Erin continued to be the team leader. You know, she's one of the top players in the NBL1 at the moment. She's definitely in the MVP race, DPOY race. She's looking good for the season. The Phoenix remain competitive on the league's benchmark. I think they're above average team, and hopefully they're pushing for finals later on in the season. But we're halfway. They're not looking too bad at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, Logan was a big team, and the difference was 11. So that's actually a really good performance. Some standout stats for the night. Maya Price had a big game. She had 25 points and 6 rebounds. Why do you think that was?
She just got to her shots a lot, because especially that corner shot, she got I think 4 in a row or something like that. And in that last half, she really turned it on, which is great to see from Maya. You know, confidence building. She's looking good now. Bit of a Shannon Ryan kind of thing where she started a bit slow, but now she's definitely clicking in and becoming one of the main options for the scoring, which is great. Looking at some other players, we have Erin Bowman, 16 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 steals and 2 blocks. Just great across the board. It's great to see from Erin.
Yeah.
It's good that she's putting in those kind of stats this season.
Amy Brown had 14 points and 10 rebounds. She also played 34 minutes, which was the most out of any of the team members. So obviously Amy's been having that leadership role that they need, kind of a voice on the court, and they're relying on Amy for that.
Yeah, and I think that's a part of their game plan, was to play Amy quite a bit in that first game, get that leadership out of her in the second game, have her a bit of a rest. She was still starting, but I think she only played 22 minutes or something like that, so a big drop back in the minutes. But, you know, she had a great game, 14 points, 10 rebounds, 6 of those being offensive rebounds as well, so great game from Amy.
Logan played a 2-3 zone for majority of the game, which I feel like forced, they had really good rotations on that, so it forced Phoenix to take shots rather than getting inside. because obviously those three at the back, when they're rotating quickly, it's going to be hard for them to penetrate like they normally do.
Yeah. Looking at Logan, they had three main players. First one was Amadine Tois, having 20 points and the leading scorer for Logan.
Leah Scott had 18 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and a block. And
Perseus Natoa also had 16 points and 9 rebounds off the bench. So she might have a couple of starting roles this season. We'll see what happens. Looking at the men's game now, it was also against Thunder, of course. It was a very heated game. Lots of fouls, very physical. I think the refs wanted to get on top of the game first by calling all the fouls that they see and not letting anything go just so that they can keep a handle on the game. It was 4th versus 3rd. At the time, we were 4th, but now, after this round, we've overtaken Logan and we're now in 3rd place. So, at the time, it was 4th versus 3rd, us being 4th, but now we're the top team on them. So, the Phoenix really outplayed Logan from the jump. Like, Logan were ahead for a minute, and then the rest of the game, the Phoenix were in front. So, great game from the Phoenix. I think they scouted the other team really well. You know, every play they had, we had a counter for it, which was great. We had won by quite a margin. It was 116 to 87. So what's that? Like 30 points?
yeah.
Crazy win. It's great to see from the Phoenix. Like, we're really clicking over the past few games, which is great.
So some key players for us for that game. Dana Roberto had an outstanding game. He had 26 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists, so near triple-double, 2 steals and a block.
Yeah. And his brother Jamal had 28 points, 6 rebounds, and 1 block as well. As well as Eric, who had 22 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. So, great game from those three, as well as a few other great stats from, like, Ernest. I think he had 17 points as well.
Yeah.
But, great game all around.
For the other team, Sean Bruce had 26 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, and 2 steals. Zach Triplett had 20 points, and Callum Dalton had 12 points and 10 rebounds.
I think the Phoenix's depth in the team, now that Ernest and Liam are back, they have been able to get a lot more subs through the game and a lot more breaks for the players, which is allowing us to keep the intensity up throughout the game. So, you know, if we need to go into that full court press, we can do it for a whole quarter because we can just keep the subs coming through, because we have at least 10 players that can all go on the court and contribute in a positive way, which is great to see.
On the 31st of May, there was the second game for this round, so the Sunday. The women's had a big win. We were versing Spartans, and we won 85 to 65.
Yeah, women's really responded strongly off of the loss from the night before, and better defensive intensity slowed down the Spartans' offense, which you can clearly see in the stats with us locking down their top scorers, Haley and Jess McDowell-White. The Phoenix shared the scoring load more effectively with sharing the points around a bit more, but overall I think that's based off of Spartans' defense and letting us get the ball moving a bit more.
I feel like they controlled the stretches of the game a lot more, so executing well even late into the game, which I feel like normally our third quarter kind of like, if we're down, we kind of like pressure off a bit, but I feel like we really picked it up and just like made sure we secured the win. I feel like the women really deserved this big win. And I also feel like it showed our ability to bounce back and hopefully like achieve more success.
Looking at some of the players now, their stats, we had Erin Bowman as our highest scorer with 28 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal and 1 block. So another great game from her.
Izzy Palmer had 21 points and 9 rebounds. Maya backed her up with 17 points and 9 rebounds as well. So both of them really coming into their confidence. I'm really happy with Maya's contributions that weekend. I feel like her confidence is really starting to pick up.
Yeah, and as well as that, we had Emma off the bench having 16 points, her highest scoring game of the season. It's great to see her getting some more shots up, and I think that's what we want for her.
On the Spartans team, the McDowell-White sisters had a pretty off game. They were heavily guarded by lockdown by Izzy and Erin. So Hayley McDowell-White had 15 points, 5 rebounds and 4 steals, and Jess had 6 points.
Yeah, and another interesting thing looking at that is that neither player, like none of the sisters, scored a 2-point field goal. So they literally only shot threes, pretty much. Well, they shot twos, but they only made threes. So Hayley made 5 threes, and then Jess made 2, but quite inefficient, which means the defense from the Phoenix worked well.
Yeah. For the men's second game, we had another big win over Spartans. Obviously, it was 106 to 84 points. Some stats for their team. Tamari Wiggness had 17 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists.
Luke Anderson had 25 points and 4 rebounds. That's a big show of what he can do for this team, and it's a great confidence for him. He's had a couple of off games the past few weeks, but it's great to see him bounce back and have a great game here.
Ernest Ross had 17 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 steals. He's very consistent all around. And Eric had 13 points with 6 rebounds, and Nelson had 12 points with 9 rebounds.
Yeah, so scoring spread evenly across a lot of the players, and I think that hopefully will help us going into the Northside game next week.
They carried lots of their momentum and what they were focusing on from the previous day into Sunday's game, and that was shown that the defense was consistent for all 4 quarters. I felt like they controlled the second, and they limited second chance points and controlled the boards. So this weekend on the 6th of June at 5 and 7 p.m, Phoenix play Northside Wizards at Northside Indoor Sports Centre. So if you want to make the trip, it's a pretty short drive from Maroochydore. It's probably about just over 50 minutes maybe. So make sure if you can get down there. Phoenix have really been showing off for a bigger crowd.
Looking at the game, so we versed Northside in round 1, and when we played them, the girls lost 74 to 65. We're sitting at 4-4 win rate, so it should be a good matchup. Even though we lost, we've been looking much better over the past couple of weeks, which is great to see. And it's 7th versus 8th, us being 7th, so hopefully we can pull the win out.
In round 1, when we played them, some stats for our team. Erin had 18 points, Izzy had 13 points, and Maya had 8 points.
Yeah, so looking at that, I think the stats will change. I reckon we're going to see a bit of a bigger game from Maya. I reckon we'll see a bigger game from Emma is going to have a great game, and Kayla Matthews will also have a pretty good game. Hopefully we can lock up their guard, Kalijah Dean, who had 18 on us last time.
Nadine Payne had backed that up with 16 points, and Grace Ellis had 8 points and 15 rebounds.
Yeah, we're going to really need to clean up on those rebounds, but we have worked on that over the season, and it has gotten better, which is good.
They have a well-balanced team.
Yep.
They have a lot of consistent scorers, but I do feel like we can outpace them. Like, I genuinely feel like we can outrun them and just control the whole game. Like, the speed of the game is going to be really important.
Yeah. The confidence in our key players like Izzy and Maya have grown a lot. So it was a close first game, and the women's are getting more together, more clicking each week. So
yeah,
I think we'll hopefully get the win, but we just need to play our game and stick to what we do best.
On the men's side, it is 3rd versus 9th, us being 3rd. Last time we played them, we won 89 to 81, but I feel like hopefully with the way we've been playing, we can make that quite a bigger margin.
Yeah. The Wizards, looking at their players, they're heavily reliant on import Quinton Dove and past player and current player Tyler Williams. So those two are their main scorers. Quinton had 33 points and 10 rebounds last time, and Tyler had 18 points, 2 steals, and 6 assists. So with Ernest back and Liz Switz back, I'm hoping that we can have a bit of a better matchup on Quinton, because he's like athletic, tall, he likes to jump. He's quite a slasher. So hopefully Ernest can match up with him well as the rest of us, like Nelson and Eric and all those guys.
On our team, when we played them in round 1, Luke had 22 points and 6 assists. So hopefully he can bring that back again. And Nelson had 9 rebounds, with both him and Darnell having 16 points.
Alright, now we're going to talk about our halfway through the season stats check. So basically, we're just going to go over all the stats that the Phoenix have had for the season and their averages.
Alright, so the men's top 5 averages for scoring. Number 1 is Deshaun Ross Paiwan. He's having 15 points per game.
But our top 5 are all averaging over double digits, and it's 15.13 for Deshaun. Nelson has 14.5, as well as Luke Anderson, who also has 14.5. Ernest Ross having 14.5, and Jamal having 14.13 points. So very close. That could change in one game, really. But just showing we have a well-rounded team, and it's going to be hard to guard us. Now, our major assists for the season, we have Deshaun averaging 3.5, Jamal averaging 3.25, and Ernest averaging 3.
Top 5 averages for rebounds. Nelson is averaging 9.25. Luke is averaging 6.75. Deshaun with 4.75. Jamal with 4.2. And Ernest with 4.
Yeah, surprised to see so many guards up there.
Yeah.
But it's good to see because that means everyone's rebounding. Other notable stats from the men's, we have Ernest Ross having 2.5 steals a game, Jamal having 2.25 steals a game, and Nelson having 1.88 blocks, putting him in the top, 10 in the NBL1 for blocks a game. Looking at the women's, our top 3 averages for points, they're all in double digits. We have Erin Bowman, 21.13 points, Izzy Palmer, 17.5 points, and Maya Price, 13.13 points. Expect those to jump in averages, but yeah, that's where we're at the moment.
Our top 3 averages for assists. Erin is averaging 5.13, Kayla is averaging 3, and Izzy is averaging 2.63.
For our rebounds, Erin Bowman coming in with 7.88 rebounds, Amy Brown with 6.38, Izzy with 5.38, and Kayla having 3.38. So that's our starters all coming in there and putting in great rebounds.
Other notable stats, Erin is averaging 1.1 blocks per game and 3.31 steals per game, and Izzy Palmer is averaging 3 3-point made per game.
Erin's really making that case for DPOY with one block a game and 3 steals a game. That's all for today's episode, guys. Thank you for listening. Make sure you come back next week for our recap on the Wizards game, as well as a preview for the next round after that. If you want to contact us and you want to find out more about us, go to our Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. You can email us at phxfastbreak@outlook.com. Also, we have our survey out at the moment, so go check that out because we want to get your guys' opinion on some things, like should we sell the merch, for example.
Make sure to share this podcast around. The more shares we can get, the more fans we can get for our team and get this club more noticed. So, yeah.
Yeah. That's all for today, guys. Phoenix Fast Break, out.